Around the clock, throughout the year, the U.S. Postal Service is hard at work. While most people are sound asleep, postal workers are collecting, sorting, and distributing the mail. By the year 2001, the Postal Service estimates it will be delivering 250 billion pieces of mail annually. It's going to take a lot of human resources to maintain the high level of service the American public has come to expect. And that's going to mean employment opportunities, lots of them. If you like the outdoors and like the idea of serving your community, consider becoming a letter carrier.
I've had the great opportunity of now working in the post office in the town that I grew up in, and actually remember some of the letter carriers from when I was a child.
Ken Labby has worked for the Postal Service 2.5 years. His title is Replacement Letter Carrier, which means he delivers mail for regular carriers on their scheduled days off. He works a different route each day, 5 days a week.
I'll only be on that route once a week, and so it takes me a while to become as familiar with the route, but after a time I'm expected to have the same knowledge as the regular carrier.
For Ken and other letter carriers, the workday begins at 6:30 a.m. After a brief inspection of his delivery vehicle, Ken sets to work casing, or sequencing, the mail.
Each address on the route will be identified with a number right on the shelf there on the front. We have to pull any forwards, any people that have moved recently, any holds, vacations. At that time, we can begin to tie out, which means preparing the mail for final street delivery. We'll band the letters in handheld-sized bundles. While you're walking down the street, you'll make a final sort.
After preparing the mail for street delivery, Ken loads up his vehicle and begins the day's route. On some days, he delivers to over 300 businesses and residences.
A typical route will include some businesses at the start and houses or apartment delivery through the rest of the route. A carrier's job also will include delivering any accountable items, certified letters, registered letters, that are going to need to be signed for by the customer.
The physical challenges of Ken's job might surprise you. In addition to walking 3 to 5 hours a day, the carrier must shoulder a satchel that weighs up to 35 pounds. And letter carriers deliver in all kinds of weather.
Most times of the year, the weather is one of the nice benefits. When snow falls on the ground and you're trudging through 2 feet of snow, the mail still has to go through. It is a strenuous physical job. Most people don't consider that.
On the route, delivering mail becomes a people-oriented job. Interacting with customers and helping to answer their questions are part of what keeps Ken's job both interesting and challenging. He's responsible for providing correct, up-to-date information about postal services and rates.
Mail. Sometimes you're the only contact that a customer might have with the Postal Service, and it's expected that you can either help them out with an answer or get back to them.
To apply for a job as a letter carrier, you must be a U.S. citizen or resident alien. Because the Postal Service is part of the federal government, applicants must pass a written test called a civil service exam. This is a requirement for any type of government position. Applicants will also need to have a physical exam. But most of what it takes to be an efficient letter carrier is learned on the job. Trainees initially work on short routes under the guidance of an experienced letter carrier.
The first couple days walking with the other carrier was pretty eye-opening on just how much work there is to do. They showed us casing the mail, sorting it, and then we were out on the street, and I never realized how you still have to sort it out on the street to stay on top of where you're actually delivering the mail.
Letter carriers must have a driver's license and a good driving record. Before they can be assigned a route, they must pass a road test. Then, carriers must get accustomed to their vehicle.
The steering wheel on the right side does pose a little bit of a problem to people who aren't familiar with this, but it's second nature after a couple weeks.
The Postal Service provides excellent job security and benefits. And if you're like Ken, you'll find a lot of other things to recommend the job.
We're outdoors for half of the day, and we're walking up and down the streets, getting a little bit of fresh air and some exercise too. I've been able to see a good portion of the town that I live in and meet a lot of different customers. It's been a good way for me to feel good about what I'm contributing back to the community.
Although Ken enjoys his job, he is glad to know that the Postal Service offers opportunity for advancement.
The Postal Service has a wide range of opportunities available to its letter carriers. There's a supervising position available in different departments such as business or finance.
Any career that you can think of in the outside is possible to attain within the Postal Service.
Pat Wares has worked for the Postal Service for about 20 years. She started as a letter carrier and worked her way up to the position of postmaster. Along the way, she's made a point of learning about every department, every opportunity.
We have our own law department. We have our own accounting system. We have our own advertising people. I think those are things that people don't realize, that you have to get into the service first to be able to get into some of these jobs.
For Ken, just starting a career, an entry-level position is the perfect way to gain experience, gain knowledge, and gain an inside look into an organization with plenty of options for advancement.
I'm keeping my options open for what I'd like to do. As long as I'm enjoying the work I'm doing, it's a challenge to me every day.
You might be interested in one of the other entry-level jobs the Postal Service offers. Mail handlers unload the trucks that deliver mail to the post office at night or in the early morning. Distribution clerks are responsible for taking the mail from the handlers and dividing it into routes for the letter carriers. As more and more technology makes its way into the Postal Service, postal employees will be trained on the new equipment. Some trainees will even be trained to write computer programs.
The use of technology will change the job in the future. The work that is done by the clerk will be much more specific, and we'll be dealing with a lot more automation, computers, program writing, and that type of detail into the technology. Whether it be a stamp machine or a heavy piece of equipment that does barcoding, we'll be training our own people to do those kinds of things.
What kinds of people are Postal Service managers looking for?
I think everyone needs to be very good with reading and understanding English and number sequences. Everything that we deal with has a number sequence base. So whether you apply it to mathematics of accounting or with the address system of a neighborhood, numbers are very important.
Remember, a job with the Postal Service could open the door to employment anywhere in the country. After all, from the smallest communities to the largest cities, people need to send and receive their mail.
People have grown up expecting good, consistent, quality delivery of their mail. It's really challenging to be able to meet those needs and concerns.
The Postal Service is looking for the employees of tomorrow. What are you looking for? Whatever it might be, a high school education can start you on the path to find it. If you're interested in learning about other careers that offer personal independence, job security, and a good salary, why not take a look at some of the other programs in the Enter Here series? Narrow down your choices. Weigh your options.